Welcome back to another deep dive into the competitive benefits of Dolphin Connect. You know from our last couple of episodes that Dolphin Connect is really like the ultimate solution for fleet management and connected car technology. Today, we're focusing on, I guess, what you could call a secret weapon that really makes Dolphin stand out.
Oh, a secret weapon. I like that.
Yeah, and it's called edge computing.
Okay, edge computing. It's definitely a hot topic these days, but it's more than just a buzzword. We're talking a big shift. Speed, reliability, even safety, it impacts all that.
So break it down for me. What's the big idea behind edge computing? Can you give me like the edge computing for dummies version?
All right, so imagine this. Your car's tracker, think of it like a thermostat.
Okay, got it.
In the old school systems, that thermostat, every time it needs to make a decision like whether to turn the heat up or down, it has to call up the main server, wait for instructions, and then do what it's told.
Right, it's got to check in with headquarters for every little thing.
Exactly. But with edge computing, that thermostat, it becomes a smart thermostat. It can make its own decisions, take action right there on the spot without waiting for orders.
So it's like cutting out the middleman.
Exactly.
Okay, I can see how that would be faster, but what's wrong with the old way of doing things? I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Well, think about what happens if that tracker, loses its connection to the server.
Like if the signal drops.
Right, a GSM signal drop, maybe there's a jammer, or you're in the middle of nowhere with no bars.
Basically, that tracker's useless then.
Pretty much. It's like trying to have a conversation at a really loud party. You're shouting to the host, but you can't hear anything back.
Chaos.
Pure chaos, especially if something urgent comes up. And that's where Dolphin Connect and its edge computing steps in. It flips the script.
Okay, so it's not just about being faster. It's about being reliable, even when things go wrong.
You got it. It empowers those trackers to handle things on their own, even without a server connection.
So instead of constantly phoning home, it has its own set of instructions, like a mini mission control built right in.
That's a fantastic way to put it. It's what makes Dolphin so resilient. It can keep working even when things get tough.
So instead of micromanaging, you're empowering the agents in the field to make the calls.
Exactly.
But how does this actually play out in the real world? Can you give me some concrete examples of how edge computing makes a difference?
Absolutely. So let's say someone's trying to steal a car,
Always a classic.
and they're using a jammer to block the signal from the tracker.
Okay, so they're trying to go off the grid,
Right. Now, a traditional tracker, it would be totally lost.
just sitting there waiting for instructions that never come.
Yep, but not Dolphin Connect. This is where edge computing really shines.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Okay, because the tracker can think for itself, it's already programmed to spot the signs of a jammer.
So it knows something fishy's going on. It doesn't have to wait for permission to act.
Exactly. So what happens? The alarm goes off.
Okay, that makes sense.
And not just a little beep beep either. Full-on siren, lights flashing, the whole shebang. The goal is to scare off the thief and get some attention.
Make a scene, disrupt the whole operation.
Exactly. That's the power of edge computing. The tracker can act smart and fast even when traditional systems would just give up.
So it's like that tracker has a whole arsenal of tricks up its sleeve, and it knows exactly when to use them.
You got it.
But I gotta ask, let's move beyond theft for a second. What other situations really show off how amazing edge computing is in Dolphin Connect?
All right, well, with electric vehicles getting so popular, you always got to think about those batteries and making sure they don't overheat.
Yeah, for sure. You don't want one of those things bursting into flames. That's not a good look.
Yeah, not good at all. Now, a normal tracker would have to send the temperature readings back to the server and then wait for instructions on what to do. But with something as serious as a potential battery fire, every second counts, right?
Absolutely. Any delay could be a huge problem. So how does Dolphin Connect's edge computing tackle that?
Well, with edge computing, the tracker is like a bodyguard for the battery.
Okay, I like it.
It's always watching the temperature, and if things get too hot, it can take action right away.
So no need to call for backup. It just jumps into action.
Exactly. It can kick on the cooling system, adjust how fast the battery's charging, even tell the driver to pull over and let things cool down.
So it's like having a built-in safety net, always there to catch you if you start to slip.
Precisely. And it's not just about preventing disasters. Edge computing can also make everyday stuff smoother and more efficient.
Right, because who doesn't love a bit more efficiency in their lives?
And here's another example that you might not think of: weight management.
Weight edge computing can help with managing how much cargo you're carrying.
Absolutely. Imagine you have a fleet of delivery trucks. In a traditional setup, the weight sensors in the cargo area would be constantly sending data to the tracker, which would then send that information to the server to be processed.
Okay.
The server would have to calculate the total weight and figure out if it was within the limits.
So the server would be doing all the work, literally.
Right. But with Dolphin Connect's edge computing, those weight sensors are smart enough to do the calculations themselves.
So it's like cutting out the middleman, which makes things faster and takes some of the load off the server.
Exactly.
So it's like streamlining the whole data operation, cutting out all the unnecessary steps. Love it.
You got it.
So it's not just reacting to what's happening. It's thinking ahead, having a plan.
You got it. That's what makes edge computing in Dolphin Connect so powerful. It's
Yeah.
proactive, it's smart, it's responsive in a way that old school systems just can't match.
Okay, I'm getting the full picture now. This isn't just a fancy tech upgrade. This is a whole new way of thinking about data and decision-making for fleets. But wouldn't you have to program each tracker individually, like manually? That sounds like a lot of work.
Not at all. That's the beauty of it. We can update the firmware for a whole fleet at once, remotely.
So it's like a software update on your phone,
Yeah.
but instead of getting new emojis, the trackers are getting new skills.
Perfect analogy. And this means we can constantly make things better, add new features, make the system work even smoother, adapt to whatever's changing.
I'm seeing how flexible and powerful this is. It's exciting. But let's zoom out for a second and think about our listeners. If someone's not sure about Dolphin Connect yet, what's the main takeaway here? Why should they care about edge computing?
It's about peace of mind, knowing that your vehicles, your assets, your drivers, they're all protected by a system that's always thinking ahead, always ready to act, and doesn't fall apart if it loses connection.
Like having a guardian angel watching over your fleet 24/7.
Exactly. And that peace of mind, it turns into real benefits, less downtime, better security, things just run smoother, and at the end of the day, it helps your bottom line.
It's not just about the tech, it's about the value it brings. I think we've done a good job explaining all that. But before we wrap up, I want to touch on one more thing that I think is crucial to understanding how big of a deal edge computing is. We've talked about speed, reliability, efficiency,
Yeah.
but there's a bigger picture here, isn't there?
Absolutely. It's not just an upgrade, it's like a whole new ball game.
Okay, intrigued. What do you mean?
Think about it. In the past, all the data, it was like a river, right? Flowing to one big ocean, the server.
Okay, I can picture that.
But that creates a bottleneck. If something happens to the server, the whole system gets backed up. Edge computing changes that whole flow.
So instead of one huge brain trying to handle everything, you've got lots of smaller brains working together.
Exactly. Each tracker, it's not just collecting data, it's making decisions. It's a network of intelligent agents. They're always checking things out, responding to what's happening around them.
Almost like a living, breathing organism with a nervous system that can react super fast.
I like that. A great analogy. And that kind of distributed intelligence, it has some serious advantages. Even if one part of the network goes down, the rest can keep going.
So it's built to survive disruptions. So it's like having a built-in safety net.
Precisely. But it's not just about surviving, it's about being as efficient as possible all the time.
Okay, makes sense.
With edge computing, we can process information right where it's coming from so we can react faster, better. It's like having your finger on the pulse of the whole fleet all the time.
And that's got to be even more important as we connect more and more devices, right? Like the Internet of Things and all that.
Exactly. As that world grows, edge computing is going to be crucial. It lets us spread out the workload, process information closer to the source, make decisions in real time. Imagine a future where it's not just vehicles that are connected, but whole cities with smart sensors and networks everywhere.
That's pretty mind-blowing.
And that's why Dolphin Connect is in such a good position for the future. It's a platform that can handle that kind of complexity.
We've learned a lot today, from the technical stuff to the big picture of how edge computing is changing things.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey.
But like any good deep dive, we're coming up with more questions than answers. So to wrap things up, I want to leave our listeners with a thought. What other problems beyond fleet management could edge computing solve? How could we use this tech to make the world smarter, more responsive, more resilient?
Now that is a question worth thinking about. The possibilities are huge, and we're just starting to explore them.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of edge computing. We hope you have a better understanding of how powerful this technology is and how Dolphin Connect is using it to change how we manage fleets. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.